All right, we are rolling. Greetings to you, Aquarius. This is Lumination with your May 2018 mini love and relationship generic kind of report thing. Okay, we break it up according to the zodiac because it's a convention and it's convenient, so why not? People like it, it seems to work. Uh, Before we get into the cards, I just want to give some notes for May because May is a very big deal month for the whole planet, for everybody. So early May, we're coming straight out of a big fat full moon, a Taurus sun and a Scorpio moon, okay, right in the first couple of weeks of May. So that is going to impact you, Aquarius, pretty strongly because it's a hard square, okay? May 15th, we got the big Taurus new moon and Uranus moves into Taurus, okay? It's a big deal for everybody. It's going to hit you directly in a very awkward place, let's put it that way. And May 29th, Gemini Sun, Sagittarius Moon, a little bit more relief here for you, okay, Aquarius? Let me give you my little notes here from earlier. These are just my own notes that I make for myself. Now, you've noticed I put a big heart here. And the reason I did that is because towards the end of the month, we're looking at a big fat full moon here, where the sun is in Gemini, your fifth house of true love and romance, okay, and where the moon is going to be in your 11th house, where you can get the boomerang effect from that. So these are the things I just mentioned earlier. The big Taurus energy is happening over here in your fourth house, the foundations of your life. So this is a love and relationship reading, but it's going to affect you. This Taurus stuff is going to affect your whole body, your whole life, your whole being. It's a big 7-year long journey, so be prepared for that, and it will impact your love life, okay? And you're coming out of the big fat full moon here at the end of April, first couple of weeks of May. So please allow for this. This is challenging you. This is challenging you directly. This is like having your own private T-square. Thank you very much. Isn't that fun? But this is fun here. This is okay. This is the Gemini Sagittarius thing. That should be a relief for you. Okay, a lot of things will come to the surface by the end of May. Let's put it that way for you, Aquarius. Okay, I can't even say it properly. Aquarius or Araquakis, never mind. So here we go. Let's just get on with it. Sorry. So many people wrote in like, just get on with it, you know? Enough of the charts and whatever. Anyway, I know some of you love it. A lot more of you like it than don't like it, so I like to put the little notes in. Cards are already well shuffled in advance. No jumpers, no pliers, no oracles, no reversals. The cards are beautiful the way they were originally made. Thank you. No apologies. We're going to use the crucible spread on the understanding that a crucible is a very tough container that can withstand the intense pressures of a situation, including a relationship, where we're working on the belief that there is you, Aquarius, a significant other, and a third entity called the relationship itself, which has a life and energy, purpose, mission, and structure of its own. And in a healthy, loving relationship, you are both aware of that, okay? So, you know what? Let's do it this way. I'm going to swap these around. Let's just do this, all right? It'll make a little bit more sense. You'll see in a moment, okay? And I'll leave it that for some of the other readings too, because I like to put the client over here. This would be you, Aquarius. This would be the significant other. Now, also, if you want to, you can watch this if you're single, stretch out the laws of attraction, and interpret all this as what-if energy. Okay, so the cards are shuffled. You're a witness. Okay, they did a lot of shuffling. My angels, my private card shufflers did a lot of shuffling in advance, but we went to the last second, so you're a witness. And here we go. We're going to cut it up now. So this is your love energy that you're radiating. Always radiating energy of some kind anyway, including relationship. This would be the significant other over here. Deep in your soul over here. Deep in the soul of the other and the relationship itself. The crucible. The structure in which this is all happening. This is the structure. It is a combined, it's like owning real estate. It's like a joint, like having a joint bank account, okay? Circumstantial energy prospects. Let's have a look over here. Sorry, this is getting in the way. Let me move this. Okay, so let's have a look. The weather. This is just circumstantial energy. Okay, Aquarius, don't take it personally. Just make the best of it. You have the Chariot. So let's just say that the circumstances right now are putting a lot of pressure on you to get your act together and really corral and put a bridle on all of these energies that are out there. They're extremely strong energies. This particular energy field here with all the big buildup of energy into Taurus, that's going to put a tremendous pressure on the sense of foundations of your life. Because it is Uranus, you can expect a lot of big shakeups over the next 7 years. It's a long journey. So we're starting now. It starts officially May 15th. So get used to it. All right. And it's going to affect your love life. It's going to affect the whole of your life. Okay. So my feeling with circumstantial energy as this is the time to seize the moment and look at this, no matter how challenging, as a chance to like own your energy and steer your life in the right direction. Okay. Including love and relationship. Okay. Now, with the moon card here, okay, you might feel as though things are actually kind of quaking, intimidating for you to the point where you're literally locked in fear. It's understandable. It's totally understandable. So this isn't your whole life. This is just one little monthly tarot reading. Watch for your sun, moon, and rising. If this doesn't make any sense for you, pick one of the other two, sun, moon, or rising. Then reinterpret. In fact, if you've got a triple, like if you're Aquarius sun and Sagittarius moon and Cancer rising, watch all three. Okay, get it? So over here, to me, it feels like with the moon that you're radiating, it's the energy of like quaking, like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen? What is going to happen? I know I can't get out of this journey. I know there's no way out of it. I'm going to have to go through. The only way out is through. So if your love life is showing characteristics or indications that there's some serious shakeups going in the foundations and that it's just like you don't have any option except to get your acts together and there's no going back, then that's kind of what you might be feeling like here. This might be a feeling of initiation where it's like you would much rather trust the mind and your scientific processes of dealing things rather than having to tune into things like gut intuition, raw emotion, raw intuitive energy, like pretend like you're a water sign, like you're a Cancerian water sign or something. So that you might be feeling a little bit unhinged here in May. Okay, it's totally understandable. Doesn't mean it's the end of the world. It just means unhinged, like being freaked out, being hazed. Okay, like being hazed by the energy, and you didn't ask for it, you didn't want it. It's just happening, and that's all there is to it. Okay, but by rising up to it, by facing it, by getting a reading here with Tarot Lumination, it kind of gives you a heads up that this doesn't have to rip you up or turn into earthquakes or cataclysmic, shocking events. You can use the energies as a way to get your act together. All right. What about the other? Okay. Well, you, Aquarius, you might be relating with someone who's really feeling left out. You might be becoming so unglued and so unhinged by some of these energies that it's putting so much strain on the relationship that it's almost like they are feeling rejected and neglected and left out. There is no evidence of love here as far as they're concerned. Like they're questioning, did I even make the right decision to be with you, Aquarius, in the first place? Or is it worth continuing? Because if the path keeps going like this, and we've already started, we might have had it great for a while, but the way things are going, as far as they're concerned, it's looking like they're heading into the bleak unknown, where there's tremendous sense of doubt whether they have a loving relationship with you, whether you have a loving relationship with them, because you're freaking out, and your freaking out is causing them to feel like, rejected, left out, impoverishment of the heart. And it's evidential. It isn't just like, oh, you're busy. I'm so busy. I can't, be intimate right now. This is like literally they're feeling it like there's no text, there's no email, there's no phone call, there's no intimacy, there's no dialogue, there's nothing. And it leaves them feeling literally rejected. Like, what did I do wrong? Is it me or is it you? Okay. So, in terms of intimacy, because we're always ebbing and flowing in terms of intimacy in a relationship, we might be in one of these situations where you're way over here, Aquarius, going like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. And you're just shutting down, literally just shutting down. And they're over here like, well, where does that leave me? Okay. So let's have a look deeper in the soul. All right. Hold on. We've got the Wheel of Fortune. So give me a second here. So what I'm feeling here is, because these are major arcana, this is your reading, Aquarius, for you. We started circumstantially, we had the Chariot. To me it's a big loud wake up call. Like, if you're not doing everything you can to get your act together when it comes to love and relationship, romance, this is the time, because there's no going back. These energies, these huge waves that are coming in now, this Taurus vortex that's starting officially on May 15th. There's no going back here. The only way out is through. So you're going to have to deal with this one way or another somehow. And so this might put you in a position where you feel you have no control over any of this. It's just like, what the bleep? Why didn't Lumination say something about this earlier? Huh? And you're left on a roller coaster where you have no options except to hold on extremely tight, strap yourself in, and just whatever happens, happens. Let's 1 minute up, 1 minute I'm down, 1 minute up. I have no idea. But here's the thing. The soul already knows deep, deep down in the core. You know how animals know about earthquakes and fires long before humans do, and they just kind of vacate or they reorient themselves to accommodate? That's what I feel is happening here with you. Deep, deep at the soul level, Aquarius, your soul knows that you're on this kind of roller coaster, fated path over which, like scientifically speaking, in Aquarian style, you don't really have any control. And yet the whole point of this is to put you into maximum awareness. Like, well, this is the perfect opportunity for learning how to become in control, especially of your love life. Okay? Now is the time. But it doesn't mean the solution is going to happen right here and now in May. All I'm feeling is that with the reading is that this is like a wake up, Aquarius. Wake up. This is big stuff is happening, big shifts are happening, and there's a lot at stake here. Because if you're losing someone that you dearly love, it's kind of on you right now to have to deal with this and get your acts together. Understand that that's possible. It's totally doable, but it means having to make conscious, deliberate efforts. You cannot live on autopilot anymore when it comes to love and relationship and romance. So let's have a look deep in the other. Okay, well, this might be kind of a blind awakening for them, like a shocking, like a blinding. I didn't mean a blind. I meant a blinding awakening for your significant other, Aquarius, where they're realizing, like, it's just like, I don't have any options here. If my dear loving Aquarius is freaking out that much, and I'm already doing everything I can, however it is, then I don't have any options except to seize the opportunity myself, see this as a chance for new beginnings. Of course, of course, of course. The May 15th new moon. Okay, so let's just say, Aquarius, that they're getting tuned in. They get it. They understand there's some kind of like earthquake happening here in the relationship, in the love and relationship department. And they're still here. They're still participating. And even though it might be very uncomfortable for them, deep in the soul, like you, deep in your soul, you know that this is for the good. Some way, somehow, this is for the good. No matter how challenging the situation, ultimately, this is for the good of your soul. Good for the soul of you, good for the soul of the other. And that's what this relationship is about here. To me, it looks like a very, very challenging situation. Very challenging for you here, in May, Aquarius. And as you get through the month, however, let's have a look here. Okay, with the devil here at the core center here, To me, it feels like as you get closer and closer through the month, especially around the middle, you're realizing how you're literally in a bind. Literally, we talked about binding. So it puts you in a situation because Aquarius, that's almost like the worst thing that can happen to you is being in a loving relationship, being in a love relationship where the energy of the love and the romance and the marriages and the girlfriends, boyfriends thing, whatever it is, however you like to have it, Aquarius, in your own unique, quirky way, it's crossed a line where it becomes suffocating, binding, restricting, and limiting, which becomes very, very toxic for you. The thing is, it feels to me like you would have like drifted into this and fallen into this over years and years of life without knowing that you were going to end up in this situation here. But now we're here, and now this is the chance, the opportunity to deal with it. Okay, this is the time to seize the moment, take charge, and figure out how are you going to deal with this. There's a very rude word, cluster, UCK, of events here, which is really, really piling up in the foundations of your life. Now, again, I want to emphasize this isn't directly hitting you in your love life sector, the 5th house or the 7th house or even the 8th or the 11th. It's hitting you at the foundations of your whole life, your whole being, the core foundations of your world. So that affects everything. So from my feeling here, it's like you're in a relationship dynamic for you, Aquarius, where you're just being you. It's just a little bit over the top in terms of like what's going on to the point where you, in some ways, basically can't handle it. And so it's perceived by a significant other as a freak out. Like this is a total freak out Aquarius thing. And for all we know, they are going to seize the moment and think this is a chance for me to strike out and figure out things on my own, because this is a shared energy. The devil card here is a shared energy. For example, they might have felt that the relationship was very binding as well, and that it's maybe not what we thought it was to begin. And instead of having what you would call a very mutually loving relationship where, let's say for you, Aquarius, this would be all right, like my dear loved one, what can I do for you? Okay, you seem to be in dire straits. How can I help? And then they would say, well, I'm glad you noticed it because it's been really, really rough lately. I've been feeling really left out in the cold, and I see a new opportunity for us to start again, okay, and make the best of these very difficult challenges right now, because I just had my reading from Tarot Lumination over here. So I understand you, my dear. Well, I'm glad you understand us. How are we going to do this? So that's what would happen in the loving relationship, knowing that the crucible can withstand the intense pressure. However, my feeling is that you're dealing with something, Aquarius, where you didn't factor everything in, just like we described with this little scenario here. And instead, you're at a situation where you're realizing what you thought was a loving relationship is, in some ways, can be the worst thing. Like, sometimes, for example, look at a marriage, the structure, the institution of marriage. It works incredibly well when it works. It's one of the most satisfying so-called institutions, structures that there can be. However, statistically, as we all know, making the wrong decisions and being with the wrong people for the wrong reasons at the wrong time and the wrong place can be a disaster. It can be the worst nightmare of your whole life. So what's supposed to be one of the best things of life ends up being one of the worst things of life. And that's what happens in marriage when you're talking the 7th house, in any kind of polarity, any 180-degree polarity thing. So my feeling here is for you, Aquarius, you might be dealing with a situation where you realized things are not as you thought they were, and the desire for freedom might be very, very strong now. And as you desire that, and the desire increases, you might feel as though you're more bound into something that you hadn't really anticipated or ever planned for, and that's a problem. Where does this lead us? Okay, well, inside every problem is a solution, okay? My feeling here is that there is a solution for you, Aquarius, and the solution is to have a really, really tough, serious reality check with all of this, okay? take full advantage. It's not in the notes here, but um, along with this heavy, big wall of Taurus energy here, there's this big ongoing wall of Capricorn energy here. Let me just put a note in there. Hold on. Bear with me. Okay. And this is in your 12th house. So it's very difficult energy for you to handle. Okay. Nothing to do with love and relationship. That's over here. So the Capricorn Taurus energy is a big wall of earth sign energy. And the Taurus is very tough for you. It's very hard with you. And that's Scorpio full moon. But going deep, going deep, going deep, the Capricorn Taurus energy is very, very comfortable together. So if you understand that, you can take advantage of this and turn this very challenging situation into an opportunity to kind of break out, seize the moment as a way to start, at least one step at a time, reconfiguring your love life some way, somehow. And by right at the very, very end of the month, May 29th, you're going to have a lot more clarity of what we're reading here in this report at the early part of the month. So please allow for a very, let's say, distorted month here, and then by the end of the month, when you get the Gemini Sagittarius full moon, right here in your love life, your section of true love, you're going to have a lot more clarity. Then this will make a lot more sense, okay? So I hope I didn't freak you out or touch any nerves. I think you'll be fine. You just have to be very strong. Understand that you're being swept along by very powerful waves, very, very powerful waves, deep, deep current waves that you can't control. So the only thing you can do is learn how to ride them. You can't stop this stuff happening. You have to learn how to ride it, okay? All right. All the best, Aquarius. Thank you for choosing Tarot Lumination. Bye-bye. You'll be fine.